Hi everybody, welcome back to Miss All Made Up's Makeup Artists Do Cook. Today I'm going to make a traditional Latin dish, a staple in the Mexican community actually, called ceviche. You're going to love it. It's fresh, it's light, it's served cold, it's got fresh vegetables, fresh fish in it. If you're not a fish eater, this probably isn't for you, but I can definitely give you some substitutes to what we have as far as the ingredients go in this particular recipe. So I'm going to start out here showing you I've got cooked shrimp, pre-cooked shrimp, I've got large sea scallops. This is the only thing that you're actually going to have to cook in this dish. Everything is going to be served fresh. The onions, lemons, lime, cilantro, and tomatoes, and also salt and pepper. That's it. It's super simple. Salt and pepper. So, if you're interested in making this dish, let's get started. Okay, first I'm going to start out cutting my tomatoes. These are actually some medium-sized tomatoes. You can use maybe 4 large tomatoes, but I decided to go ahead and use these small ones because it's what I had in the refrigerator. Just make sure that they're fresh. You want to chop them not too fine, good sized pieces, but just chunks, and you should be pretty good to go. That's going to be your first ingredient. Your next ingredient is going to be fresh cilantro. Yummy. Just need a handful of this. You're going to chop it really, really fine. Not too much of this, or it can become more heat than flavor. And with this particular ingredient, you want it to be all flavor. Okay, your next ingredient is going to be a red onion. You're actually going to only cut about 3/4 of this, maybe half of it, depending on how big it actually is. You want to chop this up pretty fine, and you don't want to use the whole onion because red onions are very, very strong, and they can be overwhelming. So you just want to cut up what your liking is, really, and add this to the rest of your vegetable mixture. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of salt and maybe 1 teaspoon of pepper. You don't want this to be like overly salty and peppery. It's going to have just so much flavor on its own you won't even need it. Finally, you've got 1 large onion and 2 small limes. I am going to pretty much quarter these limes. I'm not even going to use them all at one time, and you'll see why. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the lemon in half, and I'm going to use just the fresh juice from this. This is not really measured. I don't typically measure at this point. You're going to do this to taste. Lemons and limes are pretty strong. Lime is going to be the dominant flavor here. But if you put in too much, it can become too tangy because as all the vegetables and the limes and the lemons sit together, the longer they sit, the stronger they become. So you really want this to still stay fresh and light. I can tell you, if you are somebody who likes heat, and ceviche is sometimes made with more heat, you can take 1 jalapeno pepper, cut it up very fine, make sure to clean out the seeds very, very well, and then you can go ahead and add that to the mixture as well. Here, what I'm just going to go ahead and do is take those quarters of the limes that you saw me cut and squeeze them out pretty fresh. There goes 1, just squeezing it in there really, really well. There goes 2. It seems like a lot as I'm doing it, but it really is not heavy as I've done this in the past. And I like it that way. I like it fresher. There's 3. And here goes 4. And then finally, I'm going to take half of the lemon, and you'll see why. I'm going to use all this later too. I took half of the lemon and just gave it 1 good squeeze. Don't try to squeeze it to death or take out all the rinds. The lemon can become overwhelming, and that's not what you want. So you're just going to squeeze that out like so, and then you're going to go ahead and mix this up, and we'll go on to the next step. Where's my spoon? Here comes my spoon. There we go. So you're going to mix this up. This looks so good already. It is so fresh, you guys. I just love this to pieces. I have a backstory on it, but I won't go into it, about how I just remembered this flavor from being a small child and literally woke up one day and made it. What I'm doing now is just covering this up. You want to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for a couple of hours while you go ahead and cook your scallops. These are fresh sea scallops. This is 1 pound of sea scallops, as I have 1 pound of the cooked shrimp already, which is also in the refrigerator. I took another quarter of those limes, just one, gave this a quick squeeze all over the scallops. I'm going to go ahead and put just a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. I don't want this to become salty, but I do want it to be flavor. I don't want it to be bland.